I've come to the floor to talk about an amendment I'll offer later, the Nat Gas Act. And I would say, Mr. President, what if I were to tell you that there was a transportation fuel that is over $1.50 cheaper than gasoline and roughly $2 cheaper than diesel? What if I were to tell you this fuel is also cleaner and has fewer smog-causing pollutants than diesel, and if widely used, could reduce the cases of asthma and lung cancer? And what if I were to tell you this fuel is abundant right here in America, so much so that we may soon become one of the world's largest exporters of this fuel? Mr. President, I think I might hear you say, "Sign me up," which is the name. What is the name of this wonderful fuel? The name of this fuel is natural gas. You can see in this chart that as gasoline prices are already skyrocketing towards $4 per gallon, the price of compressed natural gas is barely above $2 per gallon equivalent. Natural gas prices used to follow oil prices, but now they're on their own stable, inexpensive price levels. And the same holds true for liquefied natural gas. As you can see here, gas prices here, liquefied natural gas down here. Diesel prices now exceed $4, and LNG is still hovering around $2 a gallon equivalent. So why aren't we all driving around in natural gas vehicles paying a little over $2 per gallon equivalent? The reason this inexpensive fuel is not widely used is because there are not many natural gas vehicles in the United States, and there are also very few places to refuel. Currently, there are nearly 14 million natural gas vehicles in the world, but only about 117,000 in the United States. The car and truck manufacturers want to see that natural gas utilities will invest in refueling infrastructure, and the natural gas utilities want to see more natural gas vehicles on the road. So it's a classic chicken or the egg problem. What both the manufacturers and the utilities need to see is a strong stance by the federal government to jumpstart this market. The Nat Gas Act will do just that by jumpstarting the industry, and in 10 years add over 700,000 natural gas vehicles to our roads and help incentivize the installation of refueling stations around the nation. In addition, it is estimated that the bill will displace over 20 billion gallons of petroleum fuel and create over 1 million direct and indirect jobs. Now, I know that some of my colleagues are thinking, isn't this just another handout to energy companies? And the answer to that question is a resounding no. This legislation is fully paid for with a small fee on natural gas used as a vehicle fuel. As I mentioned earlier, natural gas is over $1.50 cheaper than gasoline or diesel. This amendment will use some of those savings to help overcome the market barriers for natural gas vehicles and supporting infrastructure. The fee starts at 2.5 cents per gallon equivalent in 2014 and grows to be 12.5 cents in 2020 and 2011, and in 2022 the fee is eliminated. In this way, we can still keep natural gas less expensive than other fuel options while investing in infrastructure to help grow the market, make natural gas vehicles cheaper, and put the industry on a path to flourish on its own. While the legislation itself is designed to provide a temporary boost, it's important to note that natural gas supplies we are sitting on are enormous. North America's natural gas resource discoveries have more than doubled over the past 4 years, meaning that at the current rate of consumption, this resource could supply current consumption for over 100 years. And if we do not use our natural gas here in America, it will be exported abroad, benefiting consumers in other countries, while American families will continue to pay higher prices at the pump. Already, one U.S. facility has received a permit to export natural gas, and 4 more are following suit. We can use that natural gas here in the United States to displace oil that we are sending trillions of dollars abroad to countries that our despotic wish us ill, or we can export it so that other countries can gain the benefits. I say we use it here. The Nat Gas Act will also increase our nation's energy independence and make us less dependent on regimes that do not have America's interest at heart. This is especially important at a time when Iran is attempting to develop a nuclear weapon and threatening to block oil supplies. Natural gas is not the only solution, but it can be an important part of a solution where that will allow us to ignore future OPEC threats because we have alternative to oils. But until we get to that point, we need to do all we can to supplant oil. It's also important to note that natural gas vehicles are an important way to improve air quality. According to the EPA, natural gas as a vehicle fuel has very low emissions of ozone-forming hydrocarbons, toxics, and carbon monoxide. By producing less of these harmful emissions, natural gas vehicles can reduce smog in our cities and lower incidence of asthma and lung cancer. These health benefits are one reason why Los Angeles County has made almost its entire fleet of 2,200 buses run on compressed natural gas. Now, let me talk about one thing some are concerned about. While natural gas vehicles can have important environmental and health benefits, we must also keep in mind that natural gas is still a fossil fuel, and there are serious risks that need to be weighed when it is extracted. For that reason, I think we can do and need to do better to regulate a practice called fracking. I also believe these risks mean that certain environmentally sensitive areas should be off limits for fracking. And I'll continue to work with colleagues such as Senator Casey to better formulate federal rules to protect our drinking water from possible contamination. At the same time, we should not kid ourselves. This amendment will not cause natural gas vehicles to be the main driver of natural gas demand, and fracking is used to extract oil as well. So voting against this amendment will not reduce the amount of fracking. We cannot let this opportunity slip by to use this cheaper fuel to increase our energy security, improve our air quality, and relieve the pain at the pump. It is time to put in place the temporary, fully paid-for incentives of the Nat Gas Act to follow the natural gas vehicle industry to flourish. Just remember, if you vote against this amendment, you cannot go home and tell your constituents that you have done everything you can to reduce gas prices. I hope our colleagues will join us when the time comes to offer the amendment on the floor and to support it.